Tog sa kalamigan at ng Klondike Gold Rush nitong 100 taon, ang Yukon na nasa hilaga ng Canada ay nakaranas ng bagong pambihirang dami ng trabaho. Habang dumadami naman ang mga oportunidad para sa Pilipinong matulungan ang pamilya sa Pilipinas sa pamamagitan ng Yukon Nominee Program. Ipinagpalit ang tabing dagat para sa mainit na ekonomiya at ang pagkakataong makasama muli ang mga mahal sa buhay. Anong mayaalay mong sakripisyo para sa iyong pamilya? Lumaki si Yvonne sa Dumaguete City. Nag-asawa siya ng Canadian at nagpalaki ng 3 anak sa Pilipinas.
After a few years, sabi ng asawa ko, ayaw mo ba makita yung Canada? So, ayaw ko, dito na lang tayo tumira sa Pilipinas kasi maganda ang buhay. Yung weather, mainit. Every weekend, pumunta kami sa beach, mga bata. Gusto sila kasi we live close sa ocean.
Pero nagpumilit ang asawa ni Yvonne at lumuwas sila sa Canada 18 taon na ang nakaraan.
Pag malamig sa Pilipinas, you just put on a sweater. Kung malamig, ang malamig sa amin, 25 degree Celsius. Pero nung dumating kami dito, it was spring, tapos 10 degrees yata sa Vancouver. I was really cold. So, yung sweater lang yung damit ko. So, hindi ko alam na you have to have something more than a sweater. Sabi ko, my God, ito talaga, ba't ang buhay ko dito?
Isa si Eleuteria sa mga unang nakarating noong 1971. Sa Pilipinas niya pinakasalan ang Canadian na asawa.
I got married in 1970 and he was in the Navy. But he wanted to explore the North. He wanted to do some prospecting, gold prospecting and trapping. He owned a top line there. On the way, I could see this white mountain. The moon was shining very brightly. It was so awesome.
Unti-unting lumalago ang ekonomiya ng Yukon nitong mga nakaraang taon, kung saan-saan naghanap ng mga manggagawa ang mga kumpanya sa Yukon.
For the first 5 years, it was always difficult and a challenge to get staff. That started to keep me up at night.
The local territorial government created the Yukon Nominee Program, the YMP.
Kailangan patunayan ng kumpanya na di ito makahanap ng empleyado sa Canada. 2 taon ang visa ng work permit, tapos kailangan mag-apply para sa permanent residency.
And so the program grew. And it was the Filipino community that gained a lot of trust from the employer group. And we realized that we had a mechanism that worked, and it just kept on growing.
A while ago, I come home minus 32, about 3 o'clock.
Halos 2 taon na nung dumating si Norris at nagtrabaho bilang isang mekaniko sa Whitehorse, Kapitolyo ng Yukon.
Mahaba na ring panahon na hindi kami nagkikita, nagdito lang through webcam. Apo means grandson. And then this is my daughter, my anak. She is the mother of my grandson. My first grandson. Unang apo.
Umalis si Norris ng Pilipinas noong 2002 para suportahan ang pamilya. Nagumpisa siyang magtrabaho bilang isang marine mechanic sa US Naval Base sa Guantanamo Bay.
Pagkatapos ng 1 buwan, na-promote niya ako bilang chief engineer ng patrol boat. And then, nasa Caribbean Sea kami. Doon kami nagbabantay sa Caribbean Sea.
Ilan sa mga Pilipino sa Yukon ay nagtayo ng sarili nilang business. 12 taon nang nagtatrabaho si Joy sa sarili niyang tindahan.
Magaling na akong magbenta ng mga goods, kagaya ng mga lotions, mga sabon. Magandang produkto ito. Kaya lang, it's not sufficient para maka-maintain ako ng mga workers. And isang kaibigan ko ang nagsabing sa akin na, bakit hindi ka mag-start na mag-open ng Filipino store? So, yan ang ginawa ko. So, ngayon, second year na itong Filipino store. And through this store, I was able to bring my cousin from the Philippines. And malaking tulong para sa kanila, kahit yung isa kong pamangkin na kailangan nila ng tulong with this tour, nadala ko sila. So, there are lots of lives that this tour has changed, and even my life.
Napalitan ng dating patrol boat ni Norris sa Guantanamo Bay ng isang radar station. Yung unang aplikasyon niya sa Embahada ng Canada para sa work permit ay tinanggihan.
Ngayon, nung ma-deny kami ron, umuwi ako ng Pilipinas. 1 year akong standby, walang trabaho. Then, sabi ko sa misis ko, asawa ko, "Oh, hey, wala akong trabaho, ikaw magpakain sa akin ngayon. Standby, you have to feed me."
They might say that, they are just lazy and they don't have a job, but it's not true. They don't have a job because there are no jobs available. If you are an ordinary working person, you cannot even afford to buy a car, not even a bike if you have a big family. So how much more for a house and a car? It's not possible.
Tapos doon sa Pilipinas, kasi maraming yung poverty, it's all over the place, yung poverty. Yung mga tao na mahihirap, walang trabaho, they're desperate.
There was a bus ahead of us that was hijacked, and they took the money, all their money from them, and luckily we were behind them and they didn't touch us.
Well, the time I visited the Philippines, I think that's the only place I've ever seen armed guards standing outside a McDonald's to make sure that the people inside the McDonald's are safe.
Nakatira ka doon sa magandang bahay at nakikita nila na may pera ka, they will go and rob you, So, tapos nire-rape yung mga, they'll do whatever they want, as long as to get what they want.
24 na taon nang nakatira si Joyce sa Yukon. Matapos maging nanny, naging permanent resident siya at pwede na maghanap ng ibang trabaho.
Kasi ako lang mag-isa ang mag-provide ng finances, kaya lahat ng trabaho trinabaho ko. Pagkatapos kong magtrabaho doon, mag-house cleaning kami, and then naghanap ako ng isang trabaho ko sa hotel. Taga-scrub ako noon ng hagdanan.
Where the foreign workers could come to Canada, apply to become Canadian residents, and then have a permanent status. That would allow them to buy a house, live, bring their families in, and would also allow them the opportunity to work 2 jobs. So once they became Canadian residents, they could have a full-time job and a part-time job. And I would say about 80% of our staff have 2 jobs.
If they are in poverty in the Philippines, they come here to work hard. They want also nice things and nice house and to settle here where it's peaceful, clean, and friendly atmosphere.
Yung mga malaganap na Pilipino sa Yukon ang siyang nagdadala ng kanilang pamilya mula sa Pilipinas sa pamamagitan ng Yukon Nominee Program.
Nagpapasalamat ako sa Panginoon kasi kami ng asawa ko, siya ang masasabi mong yung isa sa mga key person na nagdala ng mga Filipino workers sa Canada.
Nagpunta po ako dito para mabago naman yung pamumuhay namin na alam naman po nating mahirap talagang mabuhay sa Pilipinas. Nagpapasalamat din po ako kay tita sa aking employer na sila din po ang dahilan kaya nandito ako sa Canada ngayon. Napakabait po nila. Sila po lahat yung gumastos lahat ng mga lahat papeles para makarating ako dito.
Pagkatapos magtrabaho ni Norris sa Yukon ng 2 taon at maging permanent resident, inaasahan niyang makarating ang kanyang pamilya sa Canada. Sa ngayon, mananatili muna sa Maynila ang pamilya para makapaghanda na dumayo sa Canada.
Dahil yun yung kailangan bago sila magpunta rito sa Canada. Yung asawa ko at saka yung 2 anak ko. So yung asawa ko at saka yung anak kong 20 years old, magkasama sila para mag-orient. And then yung maliit, yung mas bata, mag-counseling.
And they just wait na. After 2 years, they become residents and then they can sponsor sa pamilya nila. Then the kids and spouses can join them. So, pagkatapos ng 2 taon. So, they just wait for that and after that, they'll be together. So, a little bit of sacrifice, that's okay for long-term gain.
Si Sabrina ang anak na babae ni Yvonne. Bibisitahin niya si Jojo, isang hairdresser na galing din sa Pilipinas para magpagupit.
Tell me about your story.
I was born in the Philippines.
You made in the Philippines also? Or you
Yeah.
made here in Whitehorse?
No, I was
You were made and born.
made and born
Made
in
and
the
born.
Philippines.
Alright.
But I was raised here, and this has always been my home. I go see my family because all our aunts and uncles and grandma and grandpa, they live there.
Uh-huh.
So we do go home to see them. But I've grown up without them. I'm very much Canadian.
Ah, okay. Your soul, your heart and soul is Canadian.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. I don't know anybody. Even Filipinos, I don't know.
You
I
didn't
don't have relatives.
family over here?
I don't have family.
Yeah.
I'm alone. I'm so brave, eh.
Yeah, definitely.
Kaya, parang napakahirap ng kalagayan namin sa Pilipinas. Kailangan mo punta sa ibang bansa para magtrabaho. More aggressive para to earn a living also to send them a little. Ang iniinggit ko bakit pag nakikita ko yung mga Filipinos yung kasama yung family nila. Bakit na lang ako, I'm beginning to cry. Without any reason. Parang sa self-pity ako when they're happy and I'm not.
Yeah.
Yun ang mga frustrations. Parang sabi ko, sana na maging, ano ba yung someday, na madala ko rin sila here in Canada or makabalik naman ako doon.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that this year. Sana, hopefully.
Sa 2 taon ng work permit sa ilalim ng Yukon Nominee Program, kailangan manatili sa isang kumpanya o amo ang foreign worker. Kung mawalan siya ng trabaho sa loob ng 2 taong kontrata, malalagay sa panganib ang pagkakataon niyang maging permanent resident.
Pero hindi naging maganda yung dahil kala namin mabait yung amo. Mahirap magkwento. Nung malapit na akong ma-residence, nag-aaway kami, isang bagay lang, customer din. We have a argument with one customer, Filipino customer. So, okay lang. Sabi ko, kung alisin mo na ako. Ngayon na. Hindi, kanya, bibigyan kita ng 1 week notice. So, sa 11, kanya. Hanggang sa 11, start. Sabi ko, ganun ba? O, di ka ako, 11 pa lang, alis na ako.
Nakatira si Nori sa Pagawaan at nawalan ng bahay nung natanggalan ng trabaho. Kung walang permanent residency, trabaho o pera, hindi niya pwedeng ma-sponsor ang kanyang pamilya para dumayo at makasama sa Canada.
You know, they come here and they're far away from their home and their family. And a lot of them come here originally on their own to try to set themselves up so they can bring their family a few years down the road. We had one of our cashiers who returned to the Philippines after 2 years, and her own daughter didn't even recognize her. A lot of sacrifices that they make to set up a new life here in Whitehorse.
May bagong alok na trabaho si Norris bilang mekaniko sa isang drilling company sa Yukon.
Nagpunta ako ng immigration. Ang sabi ng immigration, hindi ka pa residence, Mr. Kempis. Kanya, hindi ka pwedeng pagtrabaho. You're not yet residence. You're not allowed to work. Not unless you are confirmed. Sabi ko, kaya nga ako, ma'am, nandito eh. That's the reason why I'm here, ma'am. I want to know everything.
Gustong magbukas ni Eileen ng bagong tindahan na may karinderya para sa mga Pilipino at ibang taga-Asya. Sa Yukon nakatira si Eileen mula 1989.
Mulat sa pulpa, nagsa-struggle na ako yung pagkain dito kasi lahat, it's really far north and it's really hard to get, yung mga typical na pagkain. So ever since, it's been like my desire na hopefully magkakaroon ng Filipino store. I'm excited, pero mas nakaka-nervyos. Since I came up here in Yukon, I will consider na this is the biggest step. Mostly ng mga magtatrabaho dito will be Filipino workers. So far, in less than 3 years, siguro yung natutulungan ko para pumunta dito, mga more or less mga 25 people na nakarating dito dahil sa bagong program ng Yukon Nominee. One of the exciting things that I would like to see here sa dining, we will do yung karaoke night, like every Friday night. And then at the same time, yung mayroong Filipino channel.
Tinuturing isang malaking potensyal pangkalakalan ang pagdami ng mga Pilipino sa Yukon. Halos 2,000 Pilipino na ang nakatira dito.
The Filipino community obviously continues to grow very significantly in northern communities, particularly in Whitehorse. And it was in response to that growth that we really looked at the opportunity to bring some content, if you like, to our cable system that would meet the needs of the Filipino community. But it was more based on our understanding of how the population continues to grow and the need for us to be responsive to that market as we go forward. We talked to the Filipino Association here in Whitehorse and a number of our Filipino employees as well, and there seemed to be quite an interest in having a connection back to the Philippines to allow people to, be able to see some of the things that continue to happen back there, because they're a long way from home, obviously.
Noong una, hirap kasi wala akong pamilya dito, nag-iisa akong namumuhay dito. Tapos, iba talaga ang pakiramdam bilang ama na yung pamilya mo nasa ibang bansa. Ito yung mga skits, mga hockey staff na wala ito sa Pinas. Dito lang, sa Yukon, Canada. Sa umpisa, yung unang araw ko sa trabaho dito, inassign ako bilang maintenance sa floor dito. Nagwawalis ako, nagdadala ako ng sampuni. Tapos kumatok yung oportunidad sa akin, pinatrabaho ako sa hardware bilang field crew. Tapos, hindi nag-stop doon ang oportunidad ko, kumatok again. Naging supervisor ako dito sa sports department.
I'm finding the Filipino people that have come to the territory incredibly helpful when I need help. Yes, there is sometimes a language barrier, but if you explain yourself adequately, they try their best to help you.
I would rather have a worker that shows up on time, knows where the product is, works hard, and has a slight accent or communication skill than someone speaks perfect English but doesn't show up for work.
Pero challenging yung buhay dito. Dahil sa klima, yung lamig na may sporty, hindi mo ma-imagine. Parang nakatira ka sa ilalim ng refrigerator. Nagsusurvive kami dito, alang-alang sa pamilya. Tapos yung may mga tayo kasi sa buhay, may mga dream tayo sa buhay na dapat makamit.
Because of gusto mong mapabuti yung kabuhayan ng pamilya mo, talagang malaking sakripisyo. Kagaya ng maraming nagtatrabaho dito na ganun ang ginawa nila.
They're doing that kasi para sa mga anak nila, for the future sa mga anak nila. Kasi pag yung mga anak nila, andito sila, tapos na-educated ng Canadian way, yung future nila mas maigi.
And then, okay, kanya, gagawa tayo ng paraan dyan, kanya. Bukas, tomorrow, come over here, 2:30. Take your oath. Thursday, 11, I got residence. Confirmed. I am legally a resident na ng Whitehorse. I can work. Masarap isipin na ganun yung nangyari. Kasi nga, in return, what you have planted, if you planted the good kind of rice, it will give you a good kind of rice. So kung nagtanim ka ng mabuti, it will come back mabuti rin. Ang balik mabuti. So nawala ng power. Yeah, sa Pilipinas, sometimes pagka nawala ng kuryente, 2 oras, pinakamaiksi yun. 2 oras. One day, isang araw. Very bad. Lahat ng mga pagkain mo sa freezer, masisira yun.
Di na kayang painitin ni Norris ang kanyang bahay at ngayong walang kuryente, magiging sobrang lamig dito sa loob.
Every time na meron akong bisita in the Philippines, bakit ganyan yung suot ni Kuya Norris? Kanya, ang kapal-kapal. It's too thick. They says, how come Kuya Norris is wearing that thick of kind of clothes? And then my wife will tell them, kasi ano doon, -40, -35, normal nila doon, zero. Kasi gusto rin nilang maranasan kung ano yung dinadanas natin nandito sa Whitehorse. Yung mga negative 40 na kwento ko lang na nakikita, then pinakikita ko sa kanila through webcam, pinakikita ko sa kanila yung snow, kung paano natatakpan yung kotse ng snow, kung ano paano kami nagboboldos nag-shovel ng snow sa labas. Gusto rin nilang ma-experience yung mahawakan nila talaga yung andiyan yung yelo, pero magsasawa din sila pagdating ng araw dahil sino ba naman yung may gusto ng puro yelo na lang.
From the Philippines, we have to go direct to Dawson City. During our travel, we were having conversation about the North being so cold in the winter. And he said to me that in no circumstance, you never have your feet or your hand or any of your body get frozen. Because if it does, it will get rotten and won't heal, and then it will be amputated.
Sumakay ng bus si Eleuteria at ang kanyang asawa patungong Dawson City kung saan minus 52 Celsius ang temperatura. Malaking diferensya sa mahigit 22 Celsius sa Pilipinas.
When we were getting off the bus, I thought that I was pushed into a huge freezer in that time. I remember when he was telling me that don't get any part of your body get frozen. My face, and it was getting stiffer. And I thought, oh my God, what if my face get frozen? You know, will my head be amputated too? You know?
Lumipad kami patungong Dawson City, napakaliit na komunidad sa sentro ng maalamat na Klondike Gold Rush.
Yeah, Dawson just coming in sight ahead of us now. You can look downstream on the Yukon River.
Talagang iba rito. So kung sanay ka sa malaking lugar, malaking syudad, hindi ka magsusurvive dito, iiyak ka sa lungkot. Dahil wala kang mapupuntan, hindi ka mag-enjoy dito. Pera para sa pamilya, kumita para sa pamilya, and tiisin mo na.
Ito yung kung saan nag-uumpisa pa lang magsulat yung dalawang anak ko. We say, Mama, we love you. So, dalawa sila. So, nung makita ko to, kasama nung ibang mga pictures na pinadala sa akin, parang feeling ko parang inano yung puso ko talaga. Shattered siya na sabi ko, how I wish nasa akin yung mga anak ko para mayakap ko man lang, you know.
Nakatira ang dalawang anak ni Shirley sa mga kamag-anak nito sa Pilipinas. Ang mga tito at tita ang nagsisilbing magulang ng kanyang mga anak at hindi siya na tunay nilang ina.
Maipadama ko sa kanila na kahit malayo ako, kahit wala ako sa tabi nila, you know, sa puso ko, anak ko pa rin sila, mahal ko pa rin sila. Pero ang saan lang is, sana naman maramdaman nyo na lahat ng pinadala namin sa inyo is, ano yan, bunga ng paghihirap. Ang sa amin lang naman, kung magpadala kami, is spend it wisely. Okay? Gastusin sa maayos na huwag yung napunta lang sa kung saan-saan. Although hindi namin maiwasan talaga yon kasi malay pa namin kung saan yung talaga ginastos.
Malaki ang kinikita ng Pilipinas mula sa perang padala ng mga nag-iibang bayan, mahigit sa 20 bilyong dolyares taon-taon.
You know, para makakuha ng better life, yung better for the family, for me, for the kids, or for my son, ay hindi ko rin alam na makakapag-asawa ko dito o mamimit ko ang asawa ko. And this is ito yung aking maliit na anak, pangalawa kong anak, si Zoe. Yeah, nung nagpunta ako dito, yung anak ko, naiwan ko sa Pilipinas, 10 months pa lang siya. So it's really hard kasi kailangan kong isakripisyo yung pag-aalaga ko sa kanya. Well, yeah, kasi mag-aapat na taon na siya. And nakikita ko lang siya, although every week, through computer.
Ay naman, may Barney si Kuya.
But syempre, mas masarap pa rin yung ako yung nag-aalaga sa anak ko, di ba? Yun nga, sakripisyo para sa pamilya. So, it's really, really hard. And then, that time also, hindi namin alam na yung tatay namin may sakit pala. So, I have to go back home. Kasi nga, nagkaroon siya ng lung cancer na nobody knows. Like, mabilisan. So, Sa tulong din ng pinsan ko, tinulungan niya ako sa pagbili ng ticket para lang muna makauwi kasi nakaka-26 days pa lang ako sa trabaho. And then, nasa hospital ang tatay ko. So, yeah, it's really, really hard.
Tahimik na lugar. Gusto ko siya. Yeah, komportable. Wala kang takot. Walang kaba, walang takot. Yun lang ang gusto ko rito. Masasabi kong safe dahil sa oras ng trabaho ko na matatapos ako ng madaling araw or umaga, pwedeng maglakad kahit mag-isa.
Para sa aking shift, ang aking shift po ay mag-uumpisa ng alas 11 ng gabi hanggang alas 7 ng umaga. Aside na front desk yung trabaho ko.
Hey, how are you? Not too bad. I've met a few Filipinos in the Yukon and they leave their children at home, they come over here to build a better life. And, you know, like they work as though it's not happening. I couldn't do it. It would be absolutely heartbreaking. So I'm very impressed by pretty much all the Filipinos I meet, like sacrificing what they do and the time with their family and their children to try and build a better life for everybody. So I have nothing but respect for them.
Iniintay ko lang makuha yung residency but tapos na ako sa pagme-medical and pati yung anak ko nag-medical na. So iniintay na lang namin yung results. Hopefully ngayong March or May sana makuha ko yung papel ko and then makarating siya dito bago matapos yung taon. Really excited na makuha ko siya. Yeah.
Lalabas si Yvonne at ang kanyang anak na si Sabrina. Makikipagsapalaran sa lamig at sasakay ng kareta ng mga aso.
Hey, hi you guys.
Hey Frank, how are you?
Good to see you here.
Good to see you. I'm Yvonne.
Hi Yvonne.
And this is my daughter Sabrina.
Hi Sabrina, welcome to Muktuk. This is really great. You guys ready for a big day on the sled?
Yeah, it's minus 35, so I'm kind of worried. I hope I won't be cold.
We're going to get you dressed up in good parka, in mitts and the boots.
Okay.
With the sun coming up now over the mountain, it's going to warm up, you know, maybe minus 20 or minus 20 is just perfect. That's just beautiful, yeah.
Okay.
Minus 20 is...
Wow, I feel like I'm gearing up for space.
Oh yeah, definitely. Whew, this is so different from where I come from. We're usually half naked because we're going to the beach.
Malungkot siya na iiwan niya yung apo niya, saka yung dalawang anak niya. Yung apo, he's only 1 year old and 1 month. Masyado na siyang malapit sa apo niya. Nakikita ko medyo masakit para sa asawa ko yung iwanan niya yung apo niya. Pero hindi. Apo niya naman yun eh. Tsaka kailangan nila akong tulungan dito. They have to help me here. I'm paying my rent, 1,400, ang laki. Plus oil, electricity, so halos mauubos ko yung 2,000 dolyar. Para sa expenses lang. Wala pang pagkain.
Housing here is almost as expensive as it is in Vancouver right now, but there are more jobs available. Wages are a little better. Taxes are a little lower. There's more opportunity here.
You guys are ready? Yes. Excited? Are you?
Vin, be careful! Not too fast! Oh my God!
I love tropical places. I love the heat. But I definitely, when I come home, I appreciate the temperature we have here because you can put more clothes on, but you can't take more clothes off.
Ang mga panganay na anak ni Norris ay hindi makarating sa Canada kasama ng ibang miyembro ng pamilya dahil hindi nababatay sa edad.
I'm so happy even though Dalawa lang sa anak ko yung makakarating. It's only 2 of my kids can come. It's okay. Siguro may magagawa akong paraan para makuha ko rin the rest, yung ibang anak ko. Makukuha ko rin sila, makapunta sila dito ng mids of February or before Valentine's Day, eh? I like them to be here before Valentine's Day. It will not be Valentine. You know what I mean?
Nagbago ang lahat. Pauwi na si Norris sa Pilipinas dahil biglaang namatay ang panganay na anak na lalaki. Nag-abuloy ang bagong amo at mga kaibigan ni Norris sa Yukon nung umuwi ito sa Pilipinas para ilibing ang panganay na anak na si Francis. Ang bisa ni Norris ay naatraso sa embassy. Hindi siya makabalik kasama ng kanyang pamilya. Lumuwas ang kanyang asawa at 2 anak papuntang Yukon sa unang pagkakataon.
May halong nervous yung pagpasok pa lang. Sabi ko, nahihiya naman ako at marami susundo.
Good flight. People are good. We have a good trip.
Pagsakay namin, paano ba naman eh? Sabi ko, Daddy, bakit hindi natin dinaanan si Francis? Sabi ko, bakit hindi natin dinaanan? Sabi ko.
We try to bring all the families. Okay, I'll bring my husband, my kids, my mama and papa and nanay and, Lola and neighbors and cousins and cousins of cousins and friends from the next village, because we want to bring everybody because family is important.
Sa wakas, natanggap rin ni Norris ang kanyang bisa at nakabalik sa Yukon 2 araw pagkatapos dumating ang pamilya.
There we are talking about my son who passed away. Mahirap man na iniwan ko ang Pilipinas na merong malaking problema tungkol sa anak ko. Siyempre, itong pagbabalik ko rito para rin sa mga anak ko na to na naiwan. So, kailangan ko rin tumatag sa sarili ko kung ano man yung nangyari.
Kanina ka ba?
Oo. Masayang nagkasama-sama muli ang pamilya sa Yukon, pero yanig pa rin sa nangyari sa kanilang anak na lalaki at kapatid. Sa unang pagkakataon, ang mag-asawang Norris at Merlita ay magkasamang pupunta sa susunod na pulong ng Asosasyon ng Pilipino dito sa Yukon.
I cannot say anything because I'm so thankful the help is there. Even though the sadness, you back us up. Yeah. Well, the good thing is that I'm here with my family.
Yeah.
Even though I still got my daughter there, well, we can do this.
Si Merlita ay nagtatrabaho bilang tagalinis sa Whitehorse. Nagdadalamhati sa pagkawala ng kanyang panganay na anak.
Nanginayang ako kasi hindi siya nakasama dito sa pangarap namin makarating dito tapos wala siya. Nanginayang talaga ako. Gusto ko makarating dito na lahat kami kompleto. Hindi ko alam kung ano nangyari, bakit nagkaganon, biglang nawala siya. Bigla na lang, wala namang malaking dahilan para mawala siya. Bakit bigla? Wala. Kaya sabi ko sa kanya, Daddy, pilitin natin makuha si Arian, my daughter ba, and son-in-law, na may mawala na naman. Ganun. Kaya sabi ko, kahit anong iutos niyang gawin ko, trabaho ko, sige lang, okay lang. For my daughter and son-in-law.
I don't know that many Filipinos in the Yukon, but I know that the ones that are here, the ones I know, are hard workers, and they pick up the jobs that most Canadians don't really want to do. Yeah, they're welcome to come. I'm quite happy to have more foreign input into our culture here because it just expands what we learn, what we know.
Pero sa ngayon, tanungin mo bakit pupunta ka sa Yukon, napakalamig. Sabi nga nila, doon frozen people daw. Maganda naman ang kumpara sa mga ibang provinces siguro, maganda ang sahod dito at saka maganda ang mga benefits. Ang naanuhan ko lang dito sa Yukon, it's a good place to umpisa ng pamilya.
One of the things that we're seeing as we move into the future is we're seeing an increase in the number of people that are moving here from the Philippines. Our Filipino workers are a very integral part of our workforce in town. There are a number of businesses that have indicated that they wouldn't be able to survive if it wasn't about our Filipino workers that are here.
Lumalakas ang ekonomiya ng Yukon at maraming puwang ang kailangang punuin. Libo-libong manggagawa ang kakailanganin.
Another concern that I have here is whether or not there are enough of those entry-level type jobs here in Whitehorse to keep immigration going at the rate it's been going at. It's the people that are established that are setting up new businesses, not the newcomers.
Ngayon bubuksan ni Eileen ang kanyang bagong tindahan at karinderya. Napakalamig na araw sa Yukon.
It's too cold to start the car, so we thought we'd just walk to a restaurant to eat. Give ourselves a little Sunday treat.
Itong noon time, nakakatuwa dahil hindi pa kami gaanong yung organized, pero nakasurvive. Pero nagagalak ako dahil sa unang araw ng pag-open namin, kahit minus 40.
You gotta wear lots of layers. We got like 4 layers on here, plus down parkas, multiple layers in the mitts here.
And this is beaver fur, and this is hometown moose.
I feel so honored na yung binigyan nila kami ng pagkakataon na ipatikim yung mga lutong bahay. Lahat ng ito hindi ko magagawa kung hindi dahil sa kanila. Malaking gratitude, ang binibigay ko sa mga tauhan sa likuran.
And they're obviously very conscientious workers in the stores. We see them all the time, Canadian Tire
and they actually take you, if you have a question for them, they'll take you to the aisle and show you the item, whereas we never got that service before.
Binibigyan ng mag-asawang Joy at Peter ang mga bagong dating ang suportang di niya natanggap noon. Ipinagtitibay ang kanilang kultura habang nakikihalubilo sa kanilang bagong komunidad.
You see Filipinos here wherever you go. So I think it's a lot easier in certain ways for the new arrivals, and yet it's more difficult in other ways. And Joy assimilated easily because she had to. She didn't have anybody. But now it's becoming more and more difficult for them to assimilate in the community because, as you know, in places like Richmond, the Chinese, they never have to speak English. It's just like being in Hong Kong.
How could we live in the Yukon as part of the community, not just the Filipino community here, and here we are in this little corner. That's not my vision of the Filipino Association. We have a very good board. I'm just about one vote, and there's a few board of directors, and we brainstorm, we talk a lot about ideas, and we talk about the future. We know that it's a challenge that we are growing. It's a good thing that we're growing, but there's also some challenges. Whose fault is this? You can't blame the Filipinos for coming here. We wanted them here. The Yukon wanted them here. That's why there's the Yukonomity program. Now they're here. People start complaining, well, you've taken all the jobs. So, damn if you do, damn if you don't, right?
Habang masaya ang pangangalakal sa Yukon na kubuhan ng mga permanenteng Pilipinong manggagawa, ito ay lumilikha ng ilang problema.
They're all staffed by full-time. They can't take students who would work for them for 3 hours or 5 hours a week. They have to run a business. Now, what about our kids, our children could not even get a summer job. So I don't know where that is going and if there's an answer to that.
I was the first Filipino that arrived here in the Yukon, and I'm still here in the Yukon. I never been discriminated in my life. I was always treated nice.
And we asked around, hey, Filipinos, have you experienced any racism or discrimination? And mostly, or if not all, said, I haven't. And this is good news. This is really good for the Yukon.
Ang Takini Hot Springs na may higit sa 40 Celsius na tubig ay ang paborito nilang bakasyunan. Sa wakas, mainit.
See who's this? You know what? I've heard a good news. I go to Marites' house, and then Marites told me that her and Yvonne made a deal that Marites wants to hire my daughter to work on her business, cleaning business. So hiring my daughter is kind of very, very good news to me.
Si Marites na nagmemay-ari ng negosyo at miyembro ng asosasyon ay interesadong kunin ang anak na babae ni Norris para makapagtrabaho sa Yukon.
No!
Sunglass! Sunglass! I've been into the town!
Si Mahalea ay isang permanent resident na ngayon dito sa Canada at maaari nang bumalik sa Pilipinas para kunin ang kanyang anak na lalaki papuntang Yukon.
Yeah, uwi na kami sa Pilipinas kasi kailangan ko na rin kuhanin yung anak ko. So, pagbalik namin dito by June 20, kasama ko na yung panganay ko na anak. So, napakasaya at makakasama ko na after 3 years. Eto na, finally, I will get him. Yung bang mamimiss niya kasi yung mga pinsan niya. Kasi marami siyang pinsan, marami kaming kamag-anak na nakapaligid sa amin. So, alam ko pagdating dito, mamimiss niya kasi wala naman kami gaano. Ang nanay ko, alam ko mamimiss niya ng gusto. So, hopefully, mag-get over niya lahat.
Magbabago ang lahat. Ang kanyang tahanan, bagong kapatid at amahin, ang pananalita at ang lamig. Sama-samang haharapin ng buong pamilya ang mga pagbabagong ito, tulad ng marami pang umalis ng Pilipinas. Umaasang magkaroon ng mas maginhawang buhay sa Yukon at umugat dito sa Canada. Sa kabila ng pag-aalinlangan, ang mga Pilipinong lumuwas dito sa maliit na komunidad sa Hilaga ay nagbibigay na ng mataginting na kontribusyon sa kanilang bagong ampong tahanan.
I came to Canada with the thought of helping my family, who I suffered with bad times as well as good. Now, I am happy and contented with my life. I am not ashamed of our hard life in the past. Rather, when I think about it, I can smile and I said, I did it. So